How much do you think the success of Mr. Robot has altered USA's either its bravery or its ambition in what it's prepared to commission or put on the channel, or even its idea of what the USA channel is and what its programming mix should be?
I think that their decision to embrace Mr. Robot and go for it was really already where they planned to take the network. They made that bold choice. They backed up the show. They marketed it beautifully, and it's a fantastic show. So I think that decision had to come first. They had to say, we're going to not just be the Blue Sky Network, and we're going to do really topical, compelling, and deep storytelling. That won't be sort of easy, that you have to make an investment in. And the additional proof of that is embarking first on the pilot for Falling Water and then picking it up to series.
Blake told us about the visual aesthetic of the dreams. And people's dreams are so different. Some people dream in black and white. I think you might see a black and white dream or some other twists like that.
I very much defer to Blake on that. At this point, it's one of the central conceits is that we are all dreaming separate tiles in a universal dream, and that we only see our tile. But maybe there are people who can see other people's tiles, and so that's really one of the interesting things. So if we're bringing separate tiles, maybe we can come together and be united because those walls come down, or maybe it can continue to instill the fear that we see in the world and and divide us. So it really depends on who those people are who can potentially affect our dreams.
So it's an ambitious series to go forward with, like you were saying. So as you guys, were getting into, producing it, what did you find was the biggest challenge for you guys, and actually make that execution between the pilot and the series?
Well, first, the more important thing was to get the pilot right, and the best decision that we made, along with UCP, the studio, and USA, the network, was bringing on Juan Carlos Fresnadillo as the pilot director. You may know his work from Intacto and 28 Weeks Later. So he's not only a genre, it's elevated genre, it's character-driven genre, and it's visually stunning. So if you're going to take something that truly is about bringing dreams to life, you have to have that compelling visual artistry. But never forget that we're taking a journey through 3 different characters. So I think that was really important, because obviously the pilot sets the tone and the look for everything that follows. And I think the best decision here was bringing Juan Carlos on, once we had a script that everyone was happy with.
Your Walking Dead shows and even Hunters are very big ensembles. Is this show more focused on a core of 3 characters?
This show very much focuses on the 3 characters. Obviously, we build out the world, which if you haven't seen the pilot, you'll see some of the characters. Not all of them are introduced in the pilot, but it really is about connections. This is a show about connections. It's a show about 3 seemingly unconnected people who find out that they are actually connected. And we have the character of Tess, played by Lizzie Bergeret, who is convinced she's had a child and is seeking to find that child and prove that she had a baby, when everyone tells her it's impossible. There is no proof that she did. So it's about that sense of loss and connection. The character of Taka, played by William Lee, his mother has been catatonic for years and years and years, and he's seeking a reconnection with her, and trying he'll try anything to bring her back, because she's the piece of the puzzle of his life that is missing. And then the character of Burton, played by David Attenborough, he's madly in love with a woman, and yet, does she exist, or is she just someone that he's connected with in his dreams? So there's that sense of longing and loss and need to connect with a woman that he doesn't even know is real.
how strong do you think the sense of longing and connection is in the modern world? And by that I mean, we live in a world where we have an illusion of connection with social media, but we've probably never been more disconnected.
And that is that you are spot on. I think it's absolutely essential, and I think there is that sense of longing, that sense of that deep and powerful connection. And what connections are stronger than with a child, with a parent, or with a loved one? You know, and it is a metaphor for there are things that are keeping us apart, that are keeping us disconnected, and can we heal that? And through fear that keeps us disconnected, and there's so much fear in the world that makes us afraid of connection. So I think it's very powerful themes. I mean, you know, but it's through the journey of these characters that we find the answers, and hopefully some solutions.
That's what he was saying, actually, that you didn't drag it on, you know. I just came from the screening, so a lot of actually questions were already answered on the pilot. So that's what he was saying. I don't want to be one of those shows that keeps dragging.
No, we actually know,
and I was so surprised.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that came quickly, but then again, it hooked you even more. So, I mean, and Tessa's storyline at least.
And anyway, so that was important. Is that yes, of course, there's a mystery out there, but we understand our characters and we understand what their needs and desires are from the pilot. We don't, you know, we're not going to spend a season trying to wonder what they are.
For me, a personal question. Do you dream in colour or black and white? In your own life, have you spent much time contemplating the meaning?
Okay, so yes. So, okay, this is really pathetic. Yes, I dream in color. Back in the day, I dreamt about work things. How pathetic is that? I mean, like when I did Terminator, I would dream about what could happen on set tomorrow and 3 possible solutions. And the strange thing was, almost invariably, one of those things would happen, and I would have a solution. So you could not find someone who believes in the power of dreams more. And then I also, because Blake may have told you, you know, both Henry's mother and Blake's mother are Jungian dream therapists. All right, so they're dream therapists. I went to a Jungian psychologist, and the problem was for me that he would say, okay, do you have the dream of the week this week? Because and it was the worst thing for me because it was a competition to have the most compelling dream, and I wanted to win, you know. And then I realized this is not the right therapy for me, maybe for somebody else, but I wanted, you know. But at the same time, when you're creative, I found that a lot of the imagery and the symbolism and the shadow. There's a lot about the shadow in the film, which is directly out of Jungian analysis. That it's really quite powerful, but it shouldn't be a competition.
You have a lot of feature film people at work and feature film cinematographer. Why such a cinematic aesthetic? Why is that?
Well, first of all, I mean we're dealing with the dream world, so no holds barred. You can't have it look mundane. I mean, you know, you can do anything in your dreams, and you can create any kind of monster. You can create, you can create different worlds. You can look at our world very differently. So we really needed someone who could create that, because so we needed, obviously, that is the case with Juan Carlos Presidio, Shelley Johnson, who I'd worked with before, to set the template that we're following now in series. You get one chance to do that, and that's the pilot.
You have to keep somewhat strict rules in the dream so that the series doesn't go off in all directions.
Yeah, absolutely. Part of the thing that you can tell in the pilot is that when things happen to you in the dream world, there can be an impact in the real world. Maybe not the same one exactly. So I don't want to give anything away, but those of you who've seen it know that there is sort of a holdover. I think that's also the idea that you can connect with people consciously. if you can have an intention that you want to connect with someone else who's also dreaming, that's possible. Maybe not everyone can do it, but certain people can.
Did you ever look at any of the dream movies, whether Inception or Dreamscape, to see what's already been done or what work can be?
You know, I try to see almost everything, so of course I've seen both of those. I don't know if you've seen it, but I think the way that we brought this to life is different, certainly, and where it goes in series is very, very different. But I do think that it's part of the beauty of Inception is it was also a film about connection. You know, about time, the connecting with other people, and do we really know them, and who can we trust? So those are our common themes. I think those are the two common themes.
How elastic is the genre? And by that I mean, if you get into nightmares from dreams, you get into night terror. There's a universe of dark. There's a very dark side to the universe of dreams. Do you see the genre wrestling show as reasonably elastic? That horror is where we could take this? Is there?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there's elements of fantasy, there's elements of horror, but I think they're both encompassed within the overall. There is a science fiction aspect of it, but it's very grounded because it's grounded in character, and they're characters who have needs and wants. And that's what they're trying to heal. They're trying to heal themselves, and their dream world is a very big part of that.